I hope you're having an awesome day so far. I'm Maddie. I thought I'd show you today one of my most recent experiment soaps. I tried putting cocoa butter into some soap. I used it at 10%. The maximum in cold process soap for cocoa butter is 15 or so I'm well below the maximum weight. Cocoa butter is supposed to be super duper moisturizing, which I definitely could tell. I was getting it out of the container and it kept spilling on my hands, and it's definitely moisturizing. So hopefully it'll help out with this bar of soap. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is actually to mix my cocoa butter with some of my oils. These are my solid oils that I've melted down so they're really hot. That looks like so much. And the best thing to do for cocoa butter to melt it is to temper it, which means to put it in something that's already hot. Like these oils are like 130 degrees. So instead of melting the cocoa butter directly, if you do that, it can get grainy and crystally once it starts to dry. So I heated up, I melted my solid oils into liquid form, and then I'm adding my solid cocoa butter onto my now liquid hot oils. And this is just my palm oil and coconut oil. I also use in my recipe olive oil and sweet almond oil. But since those are already liquid, I don't want to add them and cool my temperature down for these two oils. And since the cocoa butter isn't melting entirely, I think I put a lot of cocoa butter and not enough other oils. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for cocoa butter, like 15 seconds at a time is the recommended, because again, if you get it too hot too fast or it melts too fast, once it starts to dry again, it'll get really grainy and really crystally and you can feel it. This is going to be for a soap, but especially for lip products, it's really, really obvious. Okay, so I put the cocoa butter in for a total of 15 seconds. I put it in for 10 seconds and then took it out and mixed it. It had melted most of the cocoa butter. And then I put it in for another 5 seconds after that, just to melt down the extra stuff. So now I'm going to measure out my sweet almond oil and my olive oil, put them in here, and then I'll start mixing my lye water into the oils as well. Okay, so I just put my lye water into my oils. Since this is a small batch, I'm going to just be using this little mini mixer. That way I can get all of it, mix all of it together. My stick blender is a little bit big for this shallow amount of soap batter, so I prefer to use this mini mixer since I got it a few months ago. It's been a long time since I made any kind of experiment soap, so I had to go through my laptop and see what oils I had already done and what notes I had and things. And I realized that I had bought some cocoa butter from Hobby Lobby because I thought it would help harden something else that I was making at the time. I think it was trying a new recipe for my body butter. And I thought it would help harden my body butter because it was a little bit liquidy because of the avocado butter, the quality of avocado butter that I was using. And I know that cocoa butter is as an additive that you can add to soap. It's supposed to be really moisturizing, which while I was grating up the cocoa butter and trying to get it out of my container, every time I spilled some or got it on my skin, it melted right away, so it's got a really low melting point. Which is actually probably what contributes to it getting kind of grainy if it gets too hot. There's been times when I will have in the past store-bought chapstick or chapstick's the brand that I normally get. But I leave my chapsticks in my car, and especially when it gets hot in the summertime, and I'll put it on one day, and I'll notice that it's got like grainy kind of all of a sudden, just a little tiny bit. And I'll know that it's because there's a cocoa butter or some equivalent of cocoa butter that melts at really low temperatures, because all those things get grainy really fast, really easily. So I'm going to be trying out a new fragrance oil as well. This is chocolate covered strawberries from Nature's Garden. I always get those two confused. And I'm trying this out because I want to make, probably not for this coming Valentine's Day, but for Valentine's Day at some point, I want to make chocolate covered strawberry soap. I've already got it designed and it's going to be super duper cute. I'm actually really excited to do it. So I ordered this chocolate covered strawberries and 2 other regular strawberry fragrances, because this is going to discolor a little bit. So I ordered this chocolate covered strawberry and 2 other regular strawberries. Well, when I got this one in the mail and I opened it yesterday, it didn't smell a lot like chocolate. So I want to see how it smells and what color it dyes by itself once it's cured in the soap a little bit. And I'm going to use my mini mixer on this too, because it looks like it might rise just a little bit from the way the fragrance oil reacted to the soap at first. And I don't know if you can see on the bottom very well, but it's already a little tiny bit greeny. I don't think there's just a little bit green compared to my normal soap batter base. It's kind of yellow colored from my palm oil and olive oil. But this does smell super strong. I put about 5% in, which I believe is their recommended. And it's super strong. I'm a little bit worried that it doesn't smell a super lot like chocolate, but once I showed it to my sweetness and he smelled it, he was like, chocolate strawberries don't smell like chocolate per se. Chocolate doesn't really smell like anything. So I'm hoping that it smells enough like chocolate to be good. And the reason I got some other regular strawberry fragrances is because I want the bottom of the soap, once I make it, I designed it with the bottom of the soap to be chocolate colored, because the bottom of chocolates are brown, because you dip them in the chocolate. And then the top layer, the top like two smaller layers, are going to be red and green for the strawberry and the little stem of the strawberry. So since this chocolate strawberry fragrance is going to discolor most likely, and that's what they told me on Nature's Garden, was that it would discolor to like a dark brown color, I decided that I wanted to get a regular strawberry fragrance so that I could still have the top smell like strawberries without turning brown or black. But if that doesn't work out, I can always just leave it unscented, and then it'll still smell kind of like chocolate strawberries, because this smells really, really good. It's a really good fresh strawberry scent for sure, and you can still get this chocolate as kind of an afternote for it. So I'm not going to do any colors in this because I want to see how much it discolors by itself. I'm not going to do any other fragrances or any kind of design in the soap. It's just going to be plain, probably brown soap when it's done curing. And my family and Sweetness and I will use this soap to see how the cocoa butter works and feels. So hopefully this comes out pretty good. I'm sure it will. It doesn't need to come out any specific way. And that's all of my soap for my experiment soap. It's the first time I've done an experiment soap in a long while. So that was my chocolate covered strawberry soap. This is how it came out. You can see it discolored really bad to just plain brown This has some soda ash on it, so it's a little yellowy looking, but it's just brown all the way through. Really a good chocolate color. I think it's going to be a good chocolate color. I might try to lighten it to see if I can lighten it with a little bit of TD, because I think it's just a little bit too dark. It is starting to smell really good like chocolate strawberries, though. It's not smelling so much like fresh strawberries, fresh picked, fresh blooming strawberries anymore, and the chocolate is starting to come out a little bit more as it cured. I still have 1 more week left for this to get ready to use. Before this is ready to use, I still have 1 more week, but I'm pretty confident, at least in the fragrance. As always, I'll leave in my description my social media in case you want to follow me. I'd be super happy to have you. And also some lye and soap safety videos in case you want to start making soap yourself. So I've got lye and soap safety videos in my description from Royalty Soaps and Soap Queen TV for sure, and I think one other one. And those are the 2 channels and people and businesses that I keep up with. They're super cool, and I really like them, and they have awesome ideas. So if you like this video, just let me know by leaving a like on it. That'd be super duper awesome, because otherwise I don't know if you liked it or not. You could have hated it and still stayed for the whole video. So just let me know by leaving a like, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks!